Welcome to the Eutaw Street Banter podcast.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode here on the Eutaw Street Banter podcast. I'm Cody. With me, like always, is Elijah. What's up, man?
Not too much. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. We got a new guy with us. We got Greg. Thanks for joining, man. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys today?
Doing good. We're definitely excited to have you on the pod. I think the thing me and Elijah both need is like a realistic view of the Orioles. So you're on here to just bring us down.
I will bring levity to the situation.
Well, I think when you say realistic, you don't even mean just bring us down, because I feel like I bring us down too much sometimes.
Yeah. And then sometimes your expectations
So,
are
like, I feel like it's I'm here. Or
Elijah's
here,
like, I think we can get Mike Trout for Mountcastle straight up. Yeah,
I mean,
I heard that take.
You never know with like Perry Manasian and that whole front office. You never know.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
He wants to come to a winner.
Yeah,
I don't see you getting Trout from Matt. But, you know.
Yeah, right. Well, maybe if season-ending injury.
Maybe Mountcastle does really good in spring.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean he might do really good, but I still don't think that's enough. Yeah. But anyway, so today we're gonna start off with some MLB news around the league. So let's jump right in. One of the big things to talk about today is spring training has begun. Thank God. The Orioles are just a few games in, and they played on Saturday. They played the Pittsburgh Pirates and lost. And then on Sunday, they played the Philadelphia Phillies and won. That's about all you need to know. The only thing that was kind of made me nervous, was Colton Cowser getting hit twice. At one time by Elijah's guy, Vespi, but that's okay. They both laughed it off. But after the last regular season time that Cowser got hit by a pitch, he broke his hand. So that was a little nerve-wracking. But other than that, they had an interview with Rubenstein, the Orioles owner, who said there is no dollar limit with this front office. So there is not limiting the amount of money that Elias can spend. But he also said that all front office moves are up to Mike Elias and his staff, and that he is not getting in the way of any moves or suggesting any moves that need to be made. Also, if you watched any of the preseason games, MLB is testing their automated ball strike challenge system. Pretty cool, in my opinion. It's not going to happen this season, but they are testing it this spring training. If you notice, if the batter or the catcher or the pitcher taps their hat, that means they're challenging the ball in strike. Usually within at least 7 to 15 seconds, you will know the answer. If the ball happens to touch an edge of the strike zone, it is a strike. If it does not, it is a ball. Couple signings. We got Alex Bregman. He signed a 3-year, $120 million contract with who else but Boston. I mean, if it's not an A, at least it doesn't happen, it seems like. The Yankees have a new rule. Actually, I guess it's getting rid of an old rule. Now they are allowing facial hair, but it must be well kept, for whatever that means. So I guess we'll find out which player they don't like as much when they come in there with a little scruffy beard versus when Aaron Judge comes in there looking like Johnny Damon. But so we'll see how that goes. One scary thing that did happen on Saturday, I believe it was, preseason, was Dodgers pitcher Bobby Miller gets hit with a 106 miles per hour line drive. Woo!
No one said he could talk good.
Nope, nobody. I can't talk good. No. But amazingly, no significant injury. But he is on concussion protocol. Which, God, I'd hope so. The Blue Jays did not sign Vladimir Guerrero in time, so unless anything crazy happens, he will be a free agent at the end of the season, and he's probably looking for $17 gazillion. So I'm sure the Mets will sign him. So the Mets pitcher Sean Manaea has an oblique injury. He will be out for an amount of time. And Frankie Montas, also the Mets pitcher, 6 to 8 weeks out with a lat strain. Obviously, MLB Network and ESPN still think the Mets will win 127 games because they got Juan Soto. So let's keep talking about them. Gunnar Henderson is the first Oriole ever to be on the MLB The Show video game. All right. So there's your news around the league. I Anybody else got any news they saw? That's all. I hit everything.
No, the only news that I saw is that MLB The Show's only on the next gen consoles, and I have a PS4. So the news is Cody still hasn't bought me my PlayStation 5.
Yeah, that's yeah. Yeah. You just keep playing that last year's game. Just keep playing that.
Gonna have it a while.
A quick question about the Blue Jays with Vlad.
Yep.
Them not signing him to an extension, and he's talking like he's not even negotiating through the season or anything. Is he really going to get a big money contract in the offseason? Because hitting doesn't look like, besides Soto, doesn't look like it's really getting paid for as much.
Yeah, the only thing I would say is he's young. Like, he's very young. I think he's 26. And it always plays. He's never hurt. So but I agree with you. I can't imagine he gets. I don't know. I'm sure it's out there what the Blue Jays offered him. I just don't know that.
Yeah.
Because I hate the Blue Jays and I'd rather not follow anything they say. But I can't imagine he's getting like a crazy amount more, right?
Yeah.
But if you're the Blue Jays, like, he's like the guy. He's like Mr. Canada over there. You know what I mean? Which is crazy. But maybe he's a Boris client, I believe. I believe he's a Boris client. So they never signed. So, like, this is what gets me with the whole Gunnar Henderson thing. So you might as well try to, something else, because they just, when you have a stud.
Yeah, it just shocks me they didn't sign him considering they were in on Soto.
Yeah, true. And Ohtani.
Yeah. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you were giving up, say, $600 million, and then you don't sign your guy.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
true.
This is what's going to happen. If you look at, like, this year, Alex Bregman got $120 million, which is about $120 million more than what he's worth. And then you had the whole Pete Alonso saga with the Mets, whatever happened there. I just think you're going to see kind of a swap next season, and the option that was built into Alonso's contract, he's gone. I don't think he'll be playing, and I think the Met Uncle Steve will pay whatever he wants.
Yeah.
But you're right though, Greg. I mean, I do see what you're saying, where it seems like the first baseman market just isn't there. It's weird. I mean, I guess they almost want this more athletic type. I mean, Soto was a weird one. I think I don't know, but I agree. I can't imagine another team that's not blue signing him, like blue by Dodgers, Mets, Blue Jays, Yankees. Like, those are your blue teams. Like, I can't imagine anybody else. Cubs.
He could be
so the Rays.
the Rays, yeah, Cubs, yeah. Wouldn't that be a fit? The Cubs, though. Oh my God, right? I mean,
yes.
Yeah. So we'll see. Elijah, we haven't done this, did we do this like on our last podcast? And our
I don't think so. No, I think it's been a few weeks. This is I got a great one then for the break.
Let's get a trivia with Elijah.
Okay,
right.
So the Orioles recently just played the Pirates in spring training. And I don't know if you saw, there was a familiar face on the Pirate squad that demolished us both at bats that he played. DJ Stewart. Good old DJ Stewart. He played a lot with the Orioles, Mets,
First round draft pick.
Yeah. Back in, I believe, 2015.
Yeah. You were like, what, 2?
Yeah, 2015. I was 10. That's just going to make you feel old, Cody.
Yeah, I know. True.
But, so how many career plate appearances does DJ Stewart have?
Career. Whew. Well, he played a lot for the Mets last year.
No.
Okay, I thought he did.
I will say he had his 2024 and 2023, he had about the same amount of plate appearances, and it was about less than half a season's worth if you're a starter.
600 is my answer.
Greg, do you have a guess?
450.
1,001.
Oh, that's way more than I thought.
He had nearly 200 plate appearances the past 2 seasons. You got to think he played a lot for the Orioles for like 5 years.
Yeah, I guess the Orioles were pretty bad when he yeah. So, yeah.
And I'm on his Baseball Savant page, which is good to look at your advanced stats. And he is in the blue, which is bad, and everything but chase percentage and walk percentage. So he won't swing at balls outside the strike zone, but he also strikes out on the ones that are inside the strike zone a lot.
Sure. That's crazy.
That's not good.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, he's looking like the Pirates aren't going to be good this year, so he'll probably get some playing time with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be the Pirates are going to lose a lot of games like 3-1.
Yeah.
Because their pitching is good.
Their front three on their rotation's amazing.
Yeah. It's just the guys that swing the bat, they struggle.
Yeah, we don't have a single pitcher that could touch them.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Make magic happen with Emily at Blue Crab Travel, your Disney vacation expert. Ready to experience the wonder of Disney? Let her help you plan the ultimate Disney getaway. Whether you're heading to Disneyland, Walt Disney World, or a Disney cruise, she has you covered. Emily can take care of custom Disney itineraries, tailored to your family's needs and preferences. She also can help find you exclusive discounts on Disney hotels, tickets, and packages. Imagine a stress-free vacation with hassle-free booking for accommodations, dining reservations, and fast passes. From character meet and greets to thrilling rides, Emily will make sure every moment is unforgettable. Email Emily Jones today at emilyjones@bluecrabtravel.com to start planning your dream Disney vacation.
All right, so we got a cool episode today. We are usually telling you how the Orioles need to do something for the Orioles to be great. Today, we're going to pretend, or not pretend, I guess not. We're going to say what we all think the Orioles have to do to make a playoff push. So we have a few categories we're going to run down, and we're going to see what we see. All right, first one, our first topic is which one player is the key to the Orioles' success in the 2025 season? Elijah, let's see what it is here.
So my one player that's going to be key. So I am taking Adley Rutschman.
Okay.
Because he needs to step up.
Sure. Yes.
He needs to step up. If you look, he's going into his 4th season. And it's actually, I didn't even know this looking into it. His rookie season in 2022 only played 113 games. That was the most WAR he's ever had in a season. That was his highest OPS plus, and he did amazing. Came back in 2023, did just as good. Some might have said he regressed slightly, but when you're playing half a season, it's hard to tell. And then last season, he really came in and regressed. Only had a 709 OPS, 250 batting average. Really not getting it done on both sides of the ball. And I think this season, the Orioles are really going to need to depend on him to anchor down the rotation, anchor down the catcher position, because you go from last year, we had James McCann, who could hold himself defensively behind the plate. If they needed to give Adley a few days off and have him cover, they could. I don't think you're going to see Gary Sanchez catching a lot of games back-to-back. Adley's going to get the majority of this workload, and he needs to make it work. Yeah. I think if he keeps regressing, this is going to be really bad. I don't see that he's going to regress. I just think he needs to fall. He doesn't need to be the star. He doesn't need to be the number one player on the team. He needs to fall in and just produce consistently, get on base, drive runs in, and be what he needs to be.
Yeah, I agree. I think the biggest thing with Adley, I don't know if you've seen him in camp, but he's massive right now. Like built, not fat. Yeah. But, it's one of those things where I think this is one of those players that you're going to notice that has to just kind of grow into what they are. I think that's the thing that a lot of Orioles fans didn't account for when we look at our young guys. I think a lot of Orioles fans thought these young prospects were going to come in and just dominate. And you forget that they're young. They're young. They're just getting into their first couple seasons, and they're kind of learning as they go. But he looks good right now. I mean, it's preseason. Like, we've only played 2 games. Well, he's only really played 1 game. So it is what it is. But I agree, though. He's catching now. He's catching more than he's ever caught.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%.
So, yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully he's great.
For Rutschman, it's all about the second half.
Yeah.
He starts out on fire, but it's been the same trend, I think, for the last 2 years with the Orioles on whole. He does make them go to a point. But that second half of the season, he has to be the hitter that he is in the first half.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just man, I hope so, because I love Adley Rutschman. Hopefully he can be an Oriole for a long time. We'll see. Greg, who do you have as the Orioles key?
Their biggest offseason signing, Tyler O'Neill.
Yeah.
He's replacing Santander, and if you were to put his numbers at bat wise against Santander and where they would stack up, he's very, very close if you do at bat wise. But he has to cut down on strikeouts. He's going to be playing, I think, left field for them is what I've heard, but that may change. But I think if you're going to spend the money, a cheaper version, but if you look at his numbers, they can be right with Santander. If he's good and somebody they may platoon with him a little bit is good, the Orioles are not going to hurt at all for that production.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, and you know what? If we have Tyler O'Neill for 3 years, so if Tyler O'Neill struggles with the home run department, we're just going to keep moving the left field wall in about 10 feet each year. We're just going to keep moving it in. We did it this year. We moved it in. So if we struggle again, we'll just, I say don't even announce it. Just steadily just put a snow fence, one of those orange snow fences, that just kind of creep in and get some iron stobs. But I agree. I mean, I'm excited to see what Tyler O'Neill can do. We know the potential. This isn't a good player comparison, but I'm hoping he's not like, I'm wearing his shirt. Actually, that's crazy. I'm hoping he's not like a Mark Trumbo where it's power or nothing. You know what I mean? So hoping it's not that. So we'll see.
And
see, you got Legend.
You say that. I would be perfectly fine for him to be Mark Trumbo. You forget Mark Trumbo, his first season he hit 45, 50 home runs, and then came back the next season and almost duplicated that. If we could get 2 seasons with that out of O'Neill, I think that's enough for this team. I mean, you think when we had Mark Trumbo come in, we just lost Nelson Cruz and Chris Davis was starting to decline. But O'Neill's the 4th, 5th, 6th best hitter in this lineup. I feel like, there's at least 5 hitters better than him in this lineup. And that's where he should be, I think. Because you have Gunnar, you have Adley, you have Westberg, you have Kowser. He can just drive in runs. If he mashes, that's good enough for me.
I'm pretty sure we could sign Nelson Cruz right now and he would be hitting pretty good.
I think Nelson Cruz could have 30 home runs. He probably struck out 250 times, but
but who cares? He can't run to first. It'd be like slow pitch rules where if you hit a home run, you just walk back.
Can we get like a ghost runner for him where like he swings and they start running?
Yeah, for real. That's funny. All right, my guy is my key player to the Baltimore Orioles' success is Grayson Rodriguez. Grayson Rodriguez worries me a little bit because I'm an Orioles fan. He's an Orioles pitching prospect, and it never works ever. So I'm hoping this is the time because we need him more than ever. The biggest thing I need from him is innings. I just need innings. I need injury-free. The past 2 years, the issue he's been having is innings and is just staying healthy. Last season, of course, he was doing great. He had 13 wins, 4 losses, right? He had a 3.86 ERA, which is decent. But he only pitched 20 games, 116 innings. It's one of those things where Elijah or Greg, either one of you, do you know who, without looking, who was the second and second most in innings for a Baltimore Orioles pitcher last year? Who's number 2? Corbin was number 1.
I would have to guess Albert Suarez.
It was Albert Suarez. Which, guys, when we did this podcast last year, when we're starting, we didn't even know who. Okay, hold on. Okay, so opening day, I didn't know who Albert Suarez was. Almost the month after opening day, I didn't know. Then they tell us that he's bringing out this old man. Well, he's not that old, but it's like 2 years older. But he looks old.
Since 2018 or something like that.
And he pitches a second most. And don't get me wrong, it's great for Albert Suarez. But as a team trying to make playoff push, that's not what I want. I don't want like a random dude being the second, he wasn't the second best pitcher, but he putting the most innings in. So anyway, that's what I want. I want Grayson Rodriguez to get out there, can I get 30 starts, right? I mean, that's what I want. Corbin gave us 32 last year. Obviously, he's a great pitcher. Albert Suarez gave us 32. No, I'm sorry. Albert Suarez pitched in 32. He gave us 24 starts. But I'll take 25. But just if we could be in a great spot in September to kind of elongate our pitching staff, kind of make it 6-man. I don't know who the heck that's going to be. To just give him a rest every now and then in September. then we do it. But I think for the Baltimore Orioles to make a playoff push, and I'm not assuming when I'm looking at all this stuff, I'm not assuming we're picking up an ace pitcher right now. This is the team we're going in with. That's all I can expect right now. And I think he has to be our ace. I think he has to be our ace. I like Zach Eflin a lot, but we know what Zach Eflin is. He's an innings eater, and he, in my mind, he's going to be 3 games above his loss column. So he, that's I'm hoping at least. I'm hoping he's 10-7. That'd be great. So we'll see. What do you guys got? Any input on my Grayson Rodriguez, other than I'm a genius? But
yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. I was thinking Grayson, and then I saw you already had him down, so I obviously wasn't going to double up here. I didn't want to steal all your information. But,
appreciate that.
I mean, he definitely needs to step up. Yeah, he has to be the ace. If you guys watched our episode with Gary from good old England, I put him as my top 15 pitchers for the season, and I feel like that was pure optimism, just hoping, because that's what he could be. I truly believe he could be top 15 pitcher in baseball. He could be a top 10 Cy Young finisher. He could throw 180 innings and have a 3.2 ERA. But he also could get hurt in May and be done, like all other good pitchers that we ever have.
Yeah, you need 185 innings. If you can get 185 innings out of him, plus, I think realistically, Elijah, I don't think you're off in thinking he could be a real Cy Young candidate. He has the potential. He has the stuff. He just has to pitch. And the way Hyde uses him, he, besides Burns last year, was probably the only pitcher that Hyde trusted going through the lineup 3 times. I mean, he could go 7 innings.
Sure.
Most guys were coming out in 5 at best. So
yeah, very, very true. Yeah, man, I just, like I said, I am desperate for him to be the finally the pitcher, because the last pitcher the Orioles really brought up and dominated with, we traded him away and we got Adam Jones. So that's Eric Bedard, in my opinion. Like
I disagree.
I'm forgetting
disagree.
somebody. Who am I forgetting?
I think Dylan Bundy had a very
shut up. No, don't even. Don't
Dylan
Bundy's supposed.
Without Dylan Bundy, we wouldn't have Kyle Bradish.
No,
so
Dylan Bundy. Okay, yes, yeah. But Dylan Bundy, he came out like he was going to be freaking Paul Skeens right now, like a comparison. Remember, he was at the Shorebirds and that Bowie was throwing 104 miles an hour. Freaking Dylan Bundy this, Dylan Bundy that. Then we had Kevin Goss. Man, at one time we had Dylan Bundy, Kevin Gossman, Brian Mattis, Michael Bauman, who they thought was going to be a stud. Like all these guys, none of them. Like not even. You know, Gossman, I guess, he's
good now,
took him a while, but now
he had to leave the Orioles.
They gave up on him quick.
Oh, yeah, he had to go to Canada.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah,
he went to the Giants.
The Giants is really good,
yeah.
Yeah, so, Canada, eh? Yeah, so, anyway, Greg, what's this is an interesting question Elijah put on here. I like this. So, what do you think the Orioles' floor versus their ceiling is in the 2025 season?
The floor is 4th place in the East. Sellers at trade deadline. I saw Elijah had that, I think it was too, and I agree. Their ceiling is American Championship League Series. I don't think they're a World Series team without trading for a number 1. There's a lot that goes into that. All that has to be with development of the hitting has to come along.
Right.
But I will take their bullpen as it currently, if health is a big thing still. I'll take their bullpen over most people because their 7, 8, 9 can be really, really good. The key is going to be is, do they have a number 1? And I really think a true number 2, whether Rodriguez is a number 1 and they trade for a number 2, or they bring in another number 1, that's going to be the big thing for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I hope you're wrong. I don't like either one of your answers. I'll be honest with you. But I agree with you. And as of now, I'll be honest with you, I'll be happy with us losing the ALCS, but us winning a game. For
Yes.
God's sakes.
Yeah.
Well,
'Cause-
us losing it means we at least got there. We
Yeah,
had to win
same.
at least a series to get there.
Yeah, yeah, I'm just kidding. But now, what do you got, Elijah?
I definitely agree that we could be sellers, and I in my mind I just think of absolute worst case scenario. And absolute worst case scenario is we are in 5th place, we win 60 games. I think it's very possible. If you see a Grayson injury happen, all it takes, say Grayson and Gunnar get hurt, we're 5th in our division because the Rays could pull 100 games out of nowhere. They've done it before. Who they just signed? Kim. He could win. He's MVP next year for all I know.
No, he's missed the first 2 months. So
I know. I'm just saying that's how the Rays do it somehow.
yeah, that's true.
So, and I see if that's a possibility, Cedric Mullins, Mountcastle, Andrew Kittredge, Yenyer Cano, they're all gone. I think you could completely see us sell mini rebuild for next year. Sell all our 1-year guys basically.
Yeah.
And then I have a ceiling as, this is me being very optimistic, we win the World Series. It's me saying that Jordan Westburg, Gunnar Henderson, Jackson Holiday, Adley Rutschman, Grayson Rodriguez, Colton Cowser, Tyler O'Neill, all All-Stars, which I think for most of those it is realistic. Half of them were All-Stars last year. And I think you just see the success that we had. I think of our success last year. We peaked at that Philly series when we won 2 of 3 games. We beat up Matt Straw. We beat up their unbeatable bullpen, basically. I think that was our peak. And if we just keep going up there, we don't stop, we don't slow down, our pitching doesn't get hurt. We have Cobb Radish coming back, hopefully halfway through the season. If he comes back and picks up his Cy Young form and really bolsters the staff, I think I could see that happening with or without an addition of a starting pitcher. Obviously, if we could get Michael King or Dylan Cease or something like that, that could only help. But I don't know.
Who do you give up for Dylan Cease, Elijah?
Well, if you look at our current roster, we have a logjam of players everywhere, basically. I think you see Mountcastle or Hearn, one of them. I think probably Kerstad.
Yeah.
I would find it hard. But the problem is that every single team just wants Jackson Holiday.
Okay. All right. What's crazy right now is I'm watching preseason, and I there's some of the prospects you forget that I'm forgetting, not you, that I'm like, man, he looks really valuable. Is Dylan Beavers looks good. Like, he looks good. And where are you going to play? He's outfield.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Dylan Beavers on another team is one of the top prospect outfielders on that team?
Yeah.
On our team, we have so many outfielders. Good God. I don't know what you got to put him.
We not only him, we have between him, Judd Fabian, Enrique Bradfield Jr. We have a lot of guys. I see personally Enrique Bradfield Jr.'s Cedric Mullins replacement. I think that's what's going to happen there. But
okay.
I think the other two, they could be involved in a trade. I don't know exactly what the asking price for a Dylan Cease would be. But, honestly, if I want any Padres pitcher, I want Michael King. He's locked up.
But I could see I could see Enrico Bradfield Jr. being gone. So here's why I say that, okay? I hope not. I like him. But if he was Cedric Mullins' replacement, but the only way you get a pitcher to win this year, because that's how you have to look at it, right? You're trying to win this year. So if you're looking to win this year, you would get rid of Enrique for a pitcher, right? You have to keep Cedric, right? Because Cedric won't get you the same thing Enrique will, which is crazy, but he won't. And you win this year, you know what I mean? But you're going to lose this. Then you're going to have to figure out how Colton Cowser is now going to be your center fielder in the future because now you traded both center fielders.
And this is how I look at it. Maybe I'm wrong for looking at it this way, but I've seen 0 playoff success for the Orioles ever. If you could tell me that if I gave away Adley Rutschman and Gunnar Henderson somehow and we would win the World Series, I'd do that in a heartbeat. I don't care who we get. Like, look at, the Texas Rangers. They gave away Cole Reagans for Aroldis Chapman. Cole Reagans, the Cy Young contender, for Aroldis Chapman, who didn't even really do that good with them in the playoffs. I would do, if I had to give up Jackson Holiday and Samuel Basallo to win a World Series, sure, absolutely.
The problem with the Orioles trading for any type of top-end starter is they don't have any veterans that they can give up.
Yeah.
That is going to bring the return back. I could see Rutschman. Rutschman could be gone because you do have that other catcher, Basilio. But you're not getting rid of Henderson. I tell you the kid that you could see on the block, and I would hate because he may end up being right there with Henderson, I think long term, is Westburg.
Yeah.
I really like his potential.
Then Elijah won't be an Oriole fan
No,
anymore.
I really like Westbrook. I've been saying for a couple months now that right now I want Westbrook to be extended before anyone else because he's going to be the cheapest and he's just as good as. I mean, he played better than Rutschman did last year.
Yes.
And he was a top 5 third baseman.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. It's tough. It's tough because like I'm looking, just like Creed Williams or Willems, like where's he gonna play? And he's a top prospect catcher in the Orioles organization. You got Dylan Beavers, you got Kobe Mayo. The bad thing, I keep looking at Kobe Mayo and I'm like, boy, you better either get production out of him or trade him right now because he's losing value as we speak.
Well, that's why I think I don't see how Mountcastle or Hearn make it throughout the whole season together. I just don't. Because Mayo is not taking third base from Westberg unless Westberg gets hurt. And I don't think they trade him away because like I saw something about the Padres asking price was like Westberg and Basayo for Cease. And I think that's too much because Westberg was an all-star last year. But who knows? I'm not Michael Elias. He's crazy.
Yeah. And my other thing, though, is it's one of those things where I felt the same way last year, whereas teams know what the Orioles need, and they know we're kind of handcuffed. So it's sort of like I don't have another good explanation. It's sort of like you're playing fantasy football, and you have that one owner in your league that drafted way too many quarterbacks, but he doesn't have a running back. So he thinks he's going to trade, one of his quarterbacks he got for a running back. You're like, no, I know you need me more than I need you. You know what I mean? And that's what I feel like right now. So my floor is 4th in the division, which it seems like we all are around there, except for Elijah, who went straight to worst team in baseball. He went straight White Sox.
No. White Sox and Marlins will never. Our floor cannot be that low.
Okay,
our floor can't be that low.
Okay. And my ceiling, I was the only one that did this. I went to 4th in division, winning only 79 games. That's my floor. My ceiling though is it's gonna happen. I mean, is 1st in the division, winning 93 games. I don't think it's a 99 or 100 wins, only because I think our division's good. Now, I will say is our division's good, but I think the media likes the people on the other teams more than the teams. So it's not they like Red Sox. It's just they like that the Red Sox are relevant. So they got Bregman. So we don't want to talk about Bregman. They forget that the Astros almost didn't make the playoffs last year with guess who? Bregman. The Red Sox were a worst team in our division last year. They got Crochet. Crochet pitched for the worst team on earth last year. And now he's going to a team that was in last place last year also, just in a different division. Not saying that he's not good. I'm not saying that. Okay.
I'm just glad that we don't have Adley Rutschman say as a terrible defender or something that refusing to move off a catcher or something.
Yeah.
I'm glad we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. Okay. And then you got the Blue Jays who got Anthony Santander, who's great. We love him. Right. And that's about it. I mean, they got a relief pitcher that doesn't want to be a relief pitcher, that wants to be a starter, but couldn't get signed by other teams because he kept failing the physical. All right. So they have him. All right. Then you got the Yankees, who lost one of the best hitters in baseball. All right. And arguing Soto. But really what Soto did was he made people pitch to Judge. That's what he did.
And side note, Stanton is going to be out for some time, I believe.
Yeah. So, and they did get Max Fried. I don't have anything I can say negative about.
Max Fried will be hurt by May, though.
But yeah,
I agree. I agree.
But hopefully
he hasn't pitched a full season ever.
The one good argument I will accept for Max Fried, though, is unlike what a lot of Yankees pitchers do when they come to them, is Max Fried is coming from a really difficult division into another difficult division. So he's used to pitching against really good teams. So like if he was in the AL West, you know what I mean? It's, or AL Central or whatever. It's one of those things where, no, he's coming from the NL East, the best NL division. Well, one of the best divisions in the NL as a whole.
He's also moving from a team that has like 6 Gold Glovers on it in a not hitter-friendly park to a hitter-friendly park with some of the worst defense you'll see.
Yeah. I mean, the AL East does have 4 Little League stadiums. You're right. But then they also got Devin Williams, who I think is one of the best closers in baseball. So it's just, can you imagine being a Brewers fan? Every time you get to
Yeah.
like a player, they trade him. But
I'm just
but
hoping
yes,
he's like Samson in the Bible where you cut his beard off. He's not gonna be good anymore.
that's why he's growing it back though.
Yeah.
That's what they
But
I
he
bet
cut
that's
it
what
off
happened.
once. He cut it off.
cut it.
He's too bad.
They cut it off. He was throwing like 72 miles an hour. Like, no.
Actually, he is one of the players that went to management and was talking about the beard policy.
I believe
really?
it. He looks
I was
terrible
reading that
without
the
it.
other day.
He
That's
looks so
crazy.
much better with a beard compared to without it.
Yeah. Alex Verdugo's the worst one. God sakes, that was rough. Him and Johnny Damon, both of those guys, they look totally different between the two. But jumping back in, so yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that 93 wins will give us, the division. It might not. It might give us a wild card. But I think this is going to be a much tighter division than what we are used to. I think all 5 teams are going to be competitive. Like I don't see one game or one team in our division that I'm like, oh, thank God we're playing them this week.
Oh, yeah.
Really, what we're going to be saying is, oh, thank God we're not playing our division this week. That's what we're going to be saying. So, I mean, this is like the hardest year I think I've ever had trying to predict how the Orioles are going to do, because it's so wide open, like in a bad way. It's not so wide open because everybody's bad.
I mean,
it's
you're gonna have
so competitive.
You're gonna have a 5th place team that's gonna be a 79 win team. Like
That's realistic.
I mean, you're gonna have. I guarantee you, every single team in the division will be within probably 5 games of a wild card spot. Like that's just gonna how it's gonna be bad.
That's crazy. Yeah. So, Elijah, what are you looking forward to this year with the Orioles?
Well, I'm looking forward to a lot of different stuff, but I'll try to narrow it down, not talk for 45 minutes.
Okay.
Like one guy I really like, he just pitched the other day, is Povich. I really think if he takes a step up, he could be massive. He'll probably start as our number 5 starter, and he could be a number 3 starter by then. He's not going to be an ace. That's not what we need. He throws like 92 miles an hour. I could see him being like a Charlie Morton almost. You realize his fastball is very deceptive from what I've heard about him, and just like watching it, hitters can't tell. Like it seems faster than it is. And he's got decent stuff. If he takes a step up, he could be really huge for this staff. And then I also have Heston Kjerstad, because who knows with him? He's been hurt. I mean, it's not his fault that he got hit in the head. It's just every time he's going up, something happens, it seems like. And then Samuel Basallo, I'm really, really excited, looking forward to seeing him make the major league team at some point this year. He has to come up at some point.
Yeah.
And I don't know what he's going to do and what role that'll be, but I'm excited. He could be a generational hitter.
I agree. I think Samuel Basallo could be legit. I think he's going to just be legit on another team. I do. I think he gets traded. I don't think there's any way he makes our. I just, with what it looks like, and like Elijah, I think Elijah had a great point earlier where he said that, if we traded Gunnar Henderson or whoever and it gives us a World Series, you'd do it. I think the Orioles are going to get ready. If it's not this year, it's definitely next year. You're getting ready to just start shooting off bullets, and by that I mean trading people to get people. You know what I mean? Like, because the window's not as far off as we wish it was. I mean, Rutschman, 2 years? Henderson's 3 years. So we're not looking at 6.
I mean, yeah,
so
you're already Rutschman's Orioles tenure, if we don't extend him, is already halfway over.
Yeah.
And like you said, if we start shooting off bullets, the one thing that we can all be optimistic about is that Mike Elias does know how to draft. He knows how to draft very well. And it seems like, even though we ship off prospects, we're not drafting when we're picking 25th, 24th overall. We're not able to get Jackson Holliday and Gunnar Henderson, but we're still getting Drew Honeycutt, Enrique Bradfield, and really good prospects that are going to produce. So it's not like, I think our farm was ranked like 20th overall for some reason. I don't agree with that at all. Like, MLB Network was completely insane putting us that low. I think we have so much talent that's not just Samuel Basallo and Jackson Holliday.
Yeah, I agree. What do you got, Greg?
I think the big question is going to be Brandon Hyde, and can he figure out how to get all the young talent on the field at the same time?
Yeah. I
mean, the Orioles have preached for the last 5 years, prospects, and they start bringing them up, and every time, it seems like you get one guy that starts getting 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games in a row. He's and you think, man, they're going to leave him in there and let him pull him back out. I don't know how you evaluate talent when they've already blown up AAA. There's nothing more they can do. But you don't give them any chance at the major league level to really succeed. I mean, the ones who have succeeded, Westberg, Henderson, they were given extended runs, and they kind of caught on quick. Kowser was one who was up and down. He finally caught on last year. I like Kerstad. I like Holiday. But, you take Holiday, for instance. How long does this experiment go before they have to make a decision? Move Westberg to second and Mayo gets a shot? Or does Mayo play first? They have so much talent like you guys are talking about. But the only thing and I'll even say with the pitchers too, Povich, you had some talent there with your young pitchers, but Hyde is not a big young guy. He loves his O'Hearn. He loves his veterans. At some point, the team, the most talented people on that team are the young guys, whether they're coming in or they're already there. And they've got to figure out a way to maximize all those young guys. Because I just don't see Mullins carrying them to the promised land, O'Hearn carrying them to the promised land. I do like Mountcastle when he's healthy. But that's going to be a big question. Can they get those guys on the field together?
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the funny. Elijah, Greg's going to be the reason why we don't get Brandon Hyde on our podcast, because you should hear him. I mean, during the regular season, Greg comes in. What in the world? Why are you? What is O'Hearn on the field for? Like, what is God center?
I will say the one thing I admire about Brandon Hyde is the one part of his game that I don't find any flaws in is how he manages pinch hitters. He has extreme success with pinch hitting. Outside of that, I don't know. But pinch hitting, I mean, you look at O'Hearn's pinch hitting numbers, it's insane. He might be the best pinch hitter of all time.
But you know what? I think an argument on that is, maybe is that just what he is? Like, is he just a spot here?
That's why you have O'Hearn and him, O'Hearn and Mounty.
I get that. No, what I mean is, what is he one of those players you just have to put him in perfect situations to get him to succeed? You know what I mean? Like
at certain times, yeah.
So that's why he's here, right? He's here for righty on lefty, under 94 mile an hour, right? And he'll hit a bomb, he'll double, it'll do great for you. So, but maybe that's what he is. Maybe, I think one thing that some people just don't want to cope with is, he's not your replacement for Mountcastle. He's not your DH replacement for every game. I think that's one thing to just kind of remember. I could be totally wrong. He might come. He might, freaking bat 400, be the next Ted Williams. Who knows? That's not going to happen. All right. What I'm looking forward to most this season is Jordan Westberg. I think this guy is the most, I don't want to say unrespected, but maybe he likes to be the guy in the background. Like, I think he is more talented than one of me and Elijah's favorite Oriole, which is J.J. Hardy. But he reminds me so much of J.J. Hardy. Right?
He's just like J.J. Hardy is to me.
He's just like, hey, if you ask me a question, it's not because I hate you. It's just I literally only have 3 words to say. This is all I got. You know what I mean? So I love his attitude. I think he's perfect for the Orioles. I mean, he's just blue collar, just everything you want a ball player to be. I'm excited for him for a whole season. I hope he can stay healthy this year. Obviously, last year that was not his fault. He gets injured. But like I said, I'm just looking at his stats again real quick, and it's just one of those things where I just didn't see this coming last year. But then you watch him play. Like, to me, it's hard to compare him and Kowser, right? Because both are young guys and both kind of had to break out last season. But Kowser was really roller coaster. It just seemed like some guy would throw a ball down the middle and Kowser would hit a right field wall. whereas Mountcastle would hit a slider in the other batter's box for a double in the right center gap. So I'm not saying anything bad about Cowser. I'm just saying I think Westberg is just legit right now. Last year he has 18 bombs, 63 RBIs, and 107 games, which is pretty good. His strikeout numbers were low, 97. I mean, they're fine, but with a 264 batting average, 312 OBP, slugging 481. So decent, right? But I mean, I'm excited for him. I think he's going to be the next stud on our Orioles team. I think he's the one that people, like I said, whenever I was looking at the rankings of each position that MLB Network does, he kind of doesn't get much love there. And maybe that's because they don't know where to put him. What position you put him at? You put him a second or third? I mean, maybe, but who cares? I don't really care what stats or what the rankings say as long as it fits with the Orioles. You know what I mean? But the JJ Hardy comp is my favorite one. You know, and just the Jordan Westberg PA announcer doesn't go as well. You know, I remember J. Right. I don't know if you can.
At least Jordan Westberg can run a little bit better than Hardy.
Yeah. They JJ Hardy was a coach this week. Is a coach this week.
Yeah, he's one of the guest coaches for spring training.
Yes. And they were doing an interview with him in one of the spring training games, and it was crazy. They were like, "Hey, you think you can still hit a home run out of here?" He's like, "I literally haven't swung a bat since my last professional bat in 2017." I was like, "Holy crap!" He's not even fielded a ball. He's like, "I haven't even fielded a ball." He's
I'm
like,
done.
Done. He's done. He said, "I guess he still has really bad back issues, which makes sense. We saw him run around the bases back in the day." And but he's like, my back would spaz up. Like I can't even play golf or anything. He's like, I mean, that's crazy. Talking about giving it all for the game, right? So
no, at least it's better than football though, and you can at least think.
Whoa! Well, he went straight to CTE. Like people,
really.
That's a problem. Have you seen Antonio Brown's Twitter?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's for another podcast.
Yeah, right. Whoa, he went. Good God, he went
just
straight.
JJ Hardy's living his best life on his ranch wherever he's living.
Yeah. But yeah. So hopefully our Orioles can step up and or not even step up, just continue winning, continue beating hopefully the Orioles that we want them to be, and we'll see. Well, Greg, thanks for joining us today, and we appreciate having you. And hopefully we can get you on next time. And you didn't get us kicked off the podcast platform yet, so
Thanks for having me. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, awesome. Well, until next time, everybody, we can't wait to see you. Please make sure you like, follow, subscribe. Remember, give us a subscribe on YouTube. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and X. Also, we're on that thing all the kids use. What's that called, Elijah?
It's I think Cody calls it TikTok.
Oh, that TikTok thing. Yeah, we're on that TikTok. So yeah, please do, and remember, you can also listen to us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. But guys, until next time, we will see you. Have a great rest of your day.
See ya.
So yeah.